In a marketplace where ingredients are traded, there's a kid who keeps bothering one stall owner after another. He's not there to buy ingredients but to ask about Toriko's whereabouts. An old man selling meat recounts Toriko's visit with a giant fong bunny, but that was 2 years ago, and Toriko's current whereabouts are unknown. However, the kid isn't discouraged. Out of the 300,000 ingredients found worldwide, 6,000 belong to Toriko. Seeing the kid's determination to meet Toriko, Tomo introduces himself as Toriko's friend and promises to take the kid to him. So the kid boards Tomo's boat to an island where Toriko is supposed to be. As soon as they arrive, the kid is chased by a wild pig. Left stranded by Tomo, who departs without a proper farewell. He was running and using a rubber band for self-defense, but only further irritated the pig. Just as the pig was about to approach, Toriko suddenly appeared and delivered a punch that knocked it out instantly. Toriko then walked over to break off a branch of a cigar tree and put it in his mouth to smoke. While preparing to cook garlic pork, the boy ran up to Toriko and asked who he was, but then immediately fainted from exhaustion. When the boy regained consciousness, Toriko generously offered him a delicious piece of meat, while he himself ate the entire remaining pig, leaving only the bones. Toriko straightforwardly asked the boy if he needed anything from him. The boy quickly told Toriko about his village being ravaged by a giant bird. Although the villagers managed to escape, their homes and belongings were destroyed, leaving them in great distress. The boy decided to use all the village's money to hire Toriko to defeat the bird. Toriko refused the payment because he is a gourmet hunter, not a mercenary. Moreover, the bird was classified as level 6 by the IGO, meaning that capturing animals of level 1 requires the effort of 10 armed hunters, which the amount offered couldn't cover. Toriko suggests being paid with the bird itself, as its meat, living high in the sky, would be exceptionally delicious and valuable. The kid, relieved not to pay money, agrees and introduces himself as Peck. The village of Peck was situated deep in the Tazan Plateau, prompting Toriko to decide to traverse the mountain range filled with exotic beasts to reach it as quickly as possible. Shortly after, they encountered a serpent bat, which made Peck quickly consult his dictionary about it, only to be intimidated by the serpent bat's long tongue. Both of them were immediately chased by the serpent bat. Toriko instructed Peck to use the rubber sling to shoot at it since he was from a village of hunters. Peck attempted to shoot but missed every time. It turned out that Peck's village sent him to find Toriko because he was exceptionally skilled at evading capture. Being the only one who could venture outside without being caught by the giant bird, Peck urged Toriko to take action against the serpent bat, but Toriko refused because the snake bat's meat wasn't appetizing to him. With no other option, Toriko resorted to using an electric rod to shock the serpent bat, rendering it immobile on the ground. Toriko's principle was not to kill anything he wouldn't eat, but if he did kill, he would consume the meat. Afterward, they continued their journey and stumbled upon numerous bread flowers and chocolate mushrooms. Before Peck could read about them, Toriko had already consumed them all, including the poisonous mushrooms. Toriko wasn't concerned because his body had developed antibodies to the toxin, allowing him to eat them without worry. In the evening, they sat down to a feast of grilled rabbit meat. Toriko casually lit a cigarette, surprising Peck with his fondness for smoking. Toriko praised Peck's extensive knowledge of ingredients, but Peck didn't feel happy because he believed that knowing a lot wouldn't help him save his village and family. Peck requests Toriko to accept him as an apprentice. The next day, Toriko takes Peck to hunt a mountain goat. Despite Peck's fear, Toriko pushes him forward. When the goat saw Peck, it flew into a rage and attacked the boy. Toriko, standing nearby, advised Peck to quickly use the power of friendship, using his intellect to deal with the goat. Peck hurriedly took cover behind some rocks to cut off the goat's tail, then calmly contemplated Toriko's advice. Seizing the moment when the goat was not paying attention, Peck enticed it to chase him to a rocky ledge. He then jumped down, causing the goat to lose its balance and fall face-first onto the rocks below. Seeing the goat defeated, Peck was delighted that his plan had succeeded. He realized that the goat's long legs were weak against strong impacts when landing, so he led it to this spot to bring it down. However, Toriko suddenly noticed the wound caused by the goat's claws under its belly. That evening, they arrived at Peck's village only to find it deserted. Peck hurried to call everyone. And to their surprise, the village chief and several young men suddenly appeared. It turned out that the villagers had dug underground shelters to hide from the giant bird. Peck was overjoyed to see everyone safe, including his mother. All the villagers gathered to meet Toriko. Peck quickly distributed the ingredients they had hunted among them to organize an outdoor barbecue party. Everyone enjoyed the feast tremendously. It had been a long time since they had such a delicious meal. While they were celebrating, the sound of the giant bird suddenly echoed, terrifying the villagers. They rushed to flee, but Toriko remained excited because he didn't have to go searching for it. The bird descended from the sky. A fat creature with 5 heads. Toriko was attacked relentlessly by its heads and was even trampled underfoot. Toriko, infuriated, got up and fought back, dodging the bird's attacks. Just as Toriko was about to deliver a decisive blow, the bird flew up swiftly to prevent him, then stretched its neck to bite Toriko's arm. Toriko waited for the opportunity, then used his strength to knock down the bird. He then prayed for their meal, gathering his strength to deliver a powerful blow that knocked out the bird. Toriko walked away confidently amidst Peck's admiration and the cheers of the villagers. However, Toriko was still not satisfied because he realized the bird was starving. Guessing it had been driven from its habitat. Toriko believed the one who had driven it away was the legendary elephant bear, a mythical creature of the Tazan Plains. Considering the appearance of the bat snake in an uninhabited area and the wound under the belly of the goat that Peck had defeated through deductive reasoning from reading the Gourmet Monster Dictionary, Toriko affirmed that the main culprit was indeed the legendary elephant bear. The elephant bear spent most of its life hibernating in caves, awakening only to devour everything in sight to store energy for its next hibernation. 15 years ago, Peck's village was nearly wiped out by it, so the village chief banned everyone from mentioning it. Toriko, upon hearing this, became excited because the meat of the elephant bear surely stored and crystallized many wonderful flavors during its hibernation. Thinking about it made Toriko hungry, so he told Peck that he would go hunt the elephant bear, but first, they needed to feast on the ugly bird they had just caught. The next morning, Toriko followed the bird's location to find the elephant bear. As they set out, Peck, Toriko's 3-day apprentice, wanted to join because he was Toriko's apprentice. Toriko agreed, and Peck became Toriko's guide. Peck volunteered to go ahead so that if anything happened, he could run away first. As they walked and talked, Peck asked about Toriko's fork strike technique. Toriko explained that it was the ultimate technique, condensing all punches into one to increase power, but Toriko couldn't use it continuously. Peck pointed out a puddle in front of them. As he took a sip, Toriko noticed that the puddle was made by the elephant bear's footprint. Suddenly, they faced a group of mad monkeys from afar. Peck immediately shot rubber at the monkeys, luckily with Toriko rushing to help, or Peck would have been torn apart. Toriko carried Peck and ran into the deep forest, accidentally encountering a group of wild boars. Toriko had to dodge and escape, but they faced a giant bird. Toriko had to run to the side and unexpectedly met a group of ugly birds blocking their way. Wanting to conserve energy to fight the elephant bear, Toriko had to climb the mountain wall to avoid them, realizing that the beasts must be guarding something on the mountain top. Indeed, when they reached there, they were surprised to see a gigantic and fierce elephant bear. Peck was trembling with fear at the sight of the powerful elephant bear. Despite feeling the beast's ferocity, Toriko's hunger overwhelmed his fear. Ignoring the monstrous creature's roars, Toriko immediately attacked it. The elephant bear's powerful strikes made it difficult for Toriko to approach, but when he unleashed his fork punch, it had no effect. Toriko was knocked down and trampled by the elephant bear. The elephant bear sniffed Toriko with its long trunk, ready to devour him. At that moment, Peck rushed back, ignoring Toriko's advice to run away. Not wanting to always flee danger, Peck recalled Toriko's words to use his head to fight. Peck quickly used his sling to shoot stones at the elephant bear. Although the stones didn't cause much harm, they stuck to the elephant bear's fur, and then Peck shot a firestone, scaring the elephant bear. Taking advantage of the opportunity, Toriko escaped. Indeed, after 15 years of hibernation, the elephant bear feared bright light. At that moment, it angrily charged towards Peck. But Toriko appeared and carried the boy away. Seeing his apprentice's bravery, Toriko promised to share some elephant bear meat with Peck. Then he lured the elephant bear away, leaving Toriko alone to face the elephant bear. He used his fork and knife techniques. When the elephant bear charged, Toriko blocked it with his fork, then used the knife to slice it horizontally. Seeing it still standing, Toriko summoned his demon, channeling all his strength into his right arm to make it as big as a giant's. Toriko used the giant arm to throw a fork punch, knocking the elephant bear far away, successfully defeating this powerful beast. Finally, Toriko brought the elephant bear meat back to share with the whole village because Peck had helped catch it. Toriko praised the delicious taste of the elephant bear meat, and the villagers cried tears of joy, never having tasted such delicious meat. They held a feast until evening. When saying goodbye, Peck thanked Toriko for helping their village. Toriko advised him to find more delicious food for everyone, while he followed the guidance of his hungry stomach. They then bid farewell happily. Sometime later, Peck met the owner of the meat shop and Tomu again. Tomu seemed annoyed that Peck hadn't thanked him properly for the help, while Peck was irritated that Tomu had left him alone on a dangerous island. But then Peck proudly showed off the red piglet he had caught. The shop owner and others clamored to buy it. But the highlight of the market today was an elephant bear brought by Toriko himself. Peck couldn't hide his pride in his master. Meanwhile, Tajiko was still leisurely fishing when a young man named Komatsu from the IGO Association arrived, asking for Toriko's help in catching the Galala crocodile, kicking off a journey in search of gourmet cuisine for us to see. Thank you for following and watching anime on my channel. If you find it enjoyable, please subscribe, like, share, and hit the notification bell to watch even better videos. Thank you.